Hello, my beautiful people. I'm attempting to record a show while I'm driving. Let's see how this goes. And I'm going to have to put the phone down so you may not even see me. Okay, people? I don't have anything in my car set up like anyway, whatever thing to put my phone on. So anyway, this is a funny angle. So I'm jumping on for a couple of reasons, a little bit of venting, and also this is like my therapy, as you know. Um, so okay, sorry, got it together now. First thing is, I don't always talk about certain things on here, like I'm going to talk about right now, about how basically you in a relationship you kind of got to figure out stuff like on your own when the other person doesn't really want to do what you want to do. Right? They don't really dig it or for whatever reason. And I've known that for a very long time, right? My husband and I have different interests and whatever it is, right? So for a very long time, I had to, when I wanted to go do stuff, I just had to go and do it, and didn't expect him to have to be open or whatever. I kind of would have liked him to try some things or whatever, but that's a lot of my journey in the beginning, just the different things I would want to do, like cultural festivals, just different stuff like that, which I can think for anybody, like walking around. I get entertained by things like that and going on like field trips to like the Asian grocery store and seeing all of the fish in the back of the store and all the nasty smells. So the reason that I'm bringing this up so that I don't get too again sidetracked again is basically I was thinking about support. And sometimes I try to make excuses that I feel like that I don't need it and it's fine, right? I can do whatever it is on my own. And then you look back or I look back at like who has supported me, who's been around, blah 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 for these different things. Is it really important? Who cares? Right? Because I've become so self-sufficient in different things, and that's fine, right? I understand. And so the Samba Mardi Gras they have in Sacramento tomorrow is that I was going to go drum for the first time. And it's really not about come see me for the first time, while, yeah, that was great and whatever. And looking at it from that perspective, I could totally go and be cool and just hang out with the Samba people. I'm not really actually very close with any of them. Marta has become a friend, but we're not super close, So pretty much it's like, okay, drum, hang out for a little bit and bounce, right? So I can do that, but it makes me also question, okay, am I just being in denial about it, pushing it down and all that sort of stuff? And, asking, I've gotten tired or exhausted of asking people to go to things, whether it's their schedule or whatever it is, right? And the answer, while I've been back and forth, like, oh, make new friends or whatever it is, I don't exactly want to do that because it can open another big can of worms, which is why the Samba people should be, in my opinion, satisfying enough, for what I am doing. So, it's like you look at it like, and my daughter is like my husband, so she's like the same thing of like the bitching and complaining, not for very long, but like she's satisfied, like just literally like doing her own thing and staying at home. So it like kind of makes me sad, but at the same time, it's like either, the compromise or whatever, sometimes, right, too, they end up coming through. And that's all good, but I'm not going to either argue or like, if you're not feeling it, like their energy is not into it. I am not about like making people do shit they don't want to do. Like, don't cramp my style then. And I say that like, if I want to have fun and talk to people and do whatever, and you're going to have not good energy about it because you don't want to be there, like, don't be there, And a lot of the stuff I've asked them to go to is actually not very long. Like, sometimes it's not even an hour. Like, My daughter has never had to go to anything. Like, she's just full on, like, even if she doesn't like it, like going to soccer or whatever, watching her cousins play soccer. It hasn't been for very long. So I try to explain to her, like, it's like, dude, I know you don't even care about friends, but if you were, I thought you were a friend and everything that I asked you to go to, you're going to bitch about, like, I'm not cool with that. And her answer would be, well, fine, then we're not really going to be friends. So really, this is about, the more sometimes when you speak up, like, it doesn't even really matter. So you just got to learn to live life on your own, people. That's what it always comes back to. And being in a relationship in general can just stunt certain parts of you, like, and hold you back if you just don't do what you want. So, you enjoy and appreciate the moments that you have, with your loved ones and, of course, in life and things like that. And some of these things, might not be cool with people. They would just get fed up with it. But for me, like, I love my freedom so much and the things that I want to do, and I respect the other person. And, but yeah, for sure, any sort of going out, it could be anything. And just accepting that, people in the relationship, that's how they are. And I'm not trying to force anybody to be different and to not, if they don't enjoy something. So I don't know, people. I just wanted to share that with you because I needed to vent out loud. And you maybe haven't heard me yet disclose just certain things that I feel like are just, this is like the daily talking about people's moods, living with somebody all the time, all the time, 24/7. The past 2 years, our daughter has been homeschooling, and I don't have to do anything, but basically, we're around each other all fucking time. So it's like, and the back and forth with my job work stuff. So anyway, I just put some uplifting music on and it's all good. So they'll probably end up going tomorrow. That's like what it is. So, which is fine. I'm just talking about the different things and the different challenges and that come within a relationship. It sometimes can suck. It's like, why do I got to talk you into like doing things? Like, people sometimes, they're just content, and that's okay. And that's why we have different friends. That's why we do stuff by ourselves and all that sort of stuff. And I've always known that from the beginning. I think I just have now again, gotten so used to it. And just asking the asking of friends thing. Like, you would have thought too, my daughter would have been the one person I can do stuff with. Okay, secondly, this is exciting, people. Okay, so jury duty. I got called a year ago or whenever that was. And I was like, this is crazy. The first time in my life. What's all this about? So I drive to Woodland. It's about like 15 minutes from us. I drive to Woodland. And basically, I think that I got dismissed because I said that I coach first responders because they don't want any sort of bias. I'm sure that's what it was, but I'm not positive. So I was like, oh, I got called again right now. So this month or whatever, today, summoned. So I was like, oh, I could totally say that. Or my friend said, like, you can say you homeschool your kid. And even though, again, I don't have to do anything, nobody asks anything. And what was even more fascinating about it is that people are saying COVID. Like, and he's like, they don't even ask, I don't think, for any sort of, test results or something. Because dude came on there, a couple of them, and I was like, he doesn't have it. He's a bullshitter. And maybe that is not true. Like, he wasn't acting like it. And I was like, I love to serve, so you'd think I'd be all over this. But there's people that'll try to get out of it. He wasn't claiming hardship. So I was like, people could totally go on there and say, and of course everybody was saying, just go ahead and say I'm racist. I'm like, oh my God, that's like the farthest from me ever. I could not. That like in my soul would like guilt trip me forever, even though that's funny. That'd be funny to stupid. So, what was I saying? That's why I love this, because I can just run my mouth on here and It's therapeutic. So people are saying, like, could totally say COVID and they can get out of it. So the point of the story, that was crazy too, having to wait like almost 2 hours just to hear your name called. But I feel like it gave me a lot of time to think about, hey, I do have the luxury of, like, I can totally do this. And this case is going to be 5 days long, but there's actually 3 trials. And so I can't wait to find out what they are about. But the last time, if you missed it, I actually, on my playlist, it says dismissed from jury duty. I forget what playlist, sorry, that it's under. And I got like 1,000 something views. But I had a very interesting observation, as you know, about the lack of organization. So I'm going to have all kinds of shit to talk about with this time. So I got to show up on Monday, and I questioned because I thought it might what do you call it? Interrupt? Can't think of it. Interrupt my job search and my different things, but 5 days, unless it goes longer, it'll be okay. I think this is actually a good time. So the point of the story is, if you understand life's connections and the divine plan and the timing, there are probably going to be trials or cases that I have lots to talk about. So that'll be an interesting show to tune in on. And I am almost home, and I need to find out. So I don't utilize Facebook Live, Instagram Live, whatever else there is, because I want to know that if there's like a live like this, like people can, because I know like people could actually jump on video like a Zoom call, and we could do it live like that. I know that there is, but like what? I think you can, I guess I just haven't experienced, like, I know, right? You can text in and you can comment, but can you jump on live to see each other? And I'm pretty tech savvy, so I should know this. I just haven't done it yet. I need to ask somebody, because I would love to do it to where, but I know people too want their privacy, but anybody who wants to talk and engage and not have to be goddamn, looking at different texts while you're talking or different messages, I'm sure I'm just right now just being dumb, because I know that there's a way. I think I just thought it was only through Zoom. So anybody that knows about this that wants to message me, I got to ask around on it about it. So I am almost home, and I think this show episode went pretty good. Now I can move on, and I will be posting my dating 1 and 2. I'll probably do it tomorrow because I have to make my little bit work on my headpiece and stuff like that for tomorrow for drumming. And I'm excited about that. Finally, it got rain checked because it was raining. The dating tip show. So look forward to that. I couldn't think of something else to call it, so I'm calling it dating tips. It just cracks my ass up because I'm not an expert in dating, but I have to call it something. It was always like basically hang out with the dude and whatever, and then you end up just becoming something in my like 2 relationships. So anyway, I think people will really find it interesting. I think one of the most interesting things about it, and then I'm going to go, is like this whole concept of choice, which a lot of people, like, they know they have a choice. Like there are a lot of people that are like that, but there are a lot of people that don't. And I think, again, the getting married and that whole traditional scene is just so commonplace and mainstream. Like the fact that I'm even talking about talking about it and mentioning like there is something that exists. It's called happily single. Like people are going to laugh about that, because sometimes I feel like in the general scheme of things, like everybody wants to get married. Not everybody, but you know what I mean? Like the common average person, they just haven't found somebody that they want to walk life with for a very long time, and in that way, and the whole legalizing it conversation. Anyway, so have a good night, people, and I will keep you posted and updated, as you know that I will. And yeah, I had to jump on therapy for me to vent about this, and I guess I'm doing it instead of writing about it, which is, what I have always done. And I haven't started running my mouth like this. This didn't happen, people, until like age 35. So anyway, cracks my shit up just talking to myself. It's like a radio show. But anyway, talking to myself, answering my own questions. Okay. Have a good night. Bye bye.